Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutrabhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantav Punah Punah. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Bhagavan Shankaracharya emphasizes aparoksha jnana nishta, a direct experience or abidance in the knowledge. And he points out that even though the Upanishad may reveal that I am Brahman, unless and until I gain the jnana nishta, that abidance, get established in that knowledge, and I own up to my true nature, it's not going to be of any use at all. And he gave two examples. One in verse 64, Akritva Shatru Samharam Agatva Akila Bhushriyam Rajahamiti Shabdanno Raja Bhavitumarhati. That example was about a king who had lost his kingdom. He knows that the kingdom rightfully belongs to him. Legitimately, it belongs to him only. But unless and until he fights back, claims the kingdom back, there is no benefit of, going around and saying, I'm the king, I'm the king. Similarly, the Upanishad says, You are indeed the owner of this moksha samrajyam, this empire of freedom, liberation. But unfortunately, you have lost it because of ignorance. You have to win it back and defeat the enemies. These enemies are in the form of ajnana, ignorance, samshaya, doubts, viparyaya, erroneous notions, habitual notions. You have to deal with each one of those, and various emotional problems you have to contend with and conquer them. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madamatsarya. So all that you have to get rid of, conquer them. Then only you can claim that I am Brahman. This is the first example. The second example in the next verse was Aptoktim khananam tato parishiladi utkarshanam swikritim nikshepa shamapekshate nahi bahihi shabdaistu nirgachati tadvad brahmavida upadesha manana dhyanadhibir labhyate maya karyati rohitam swam amalam tatvam na duryuktibihi. There is a poor man, but he does not know that he has a huge treasure right under his feet. He owns a small piece of land on which he has this hut, and he's living in that, but right underneath is a valuable treasure he doesn't know. He really is a rich man, doesn't know the fact he's suffering. But to claim and enjoy the benefits of all that riches, someone must tell him, and he should listen to him. Then after, he has to remove the layers of mud and any stones and rocks that cover the treasure. Then he can lay his hands on his treasure and enjoy them. In the same way, to claim our true nature as Brahman, we have to remove the three layers of obstacles: Ajnana, Samshaya, and Viparyaya. And this has to be done through Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana, respectively. So we have seen this up to this in the last class. And today we continue with verse 66. So let us read. Tasmat sarva prayatnena bhavabandha vimuktaye swaire vayatnah kartavyah rogadaviva panditaihi tasmat sarva prayatnena bhavabandha vimuktaye स्वैरेव यत्नः कर्तव्यः रोगादाविव panditaihi. So the Guru gives a general advice to all seekers. Tasmat, therefore, though that moksha, that freedom, liberation, is your very nature, and you did not get it from outside. That's all true, but still, you have to own up to that nature. And this requires an initiative on your part. When you eat food, the assimilation, the digestion of food takes place naturally. The physiological system will take care of it. Digestive system will take care of it. In case of the scriptural learning, that kind of assimilation never takes place automatically, naturally. I have to take separate initiative. I have to work for that kind of assimilation, digestion. Otherwise, the teaching will remain stranded in you in one corner. And samsara will remain. There will be this peculiar coexistence of scriptural learning and teaching and this samsara and suffering. Both of them will be there. They should not coexist like that. One is darkness, the other is light. But they still are there. The assimilation has not taken place. Therefore, he says, Sarva prayatnena, with all effort, sincerity, wholeheartedness. Yatnaha kartavyah, you must put forth effort. Wholeheartedly means I should give quality time. Casual effort will not give full benefit. One has to necessarily give time. Panditaihi, by intelligent people. Here, panditaha does not mean jnani. It means viveki. Those who value freedom, one who values peace and security. Mumukshu, in other words, sincere seeker. He has to put forth effort. This effort, swaihi eva. This has to be done by oneself. It cannot be done by somebody else. The effort for moksha, it cannot be outsourced. You have to do it yourself. Puja and all that somebody else can do, the priest can do, and then you do the sankalpa. The rest of it he does. But this is not like that. So Bhashyakara emphasizes swaihi eva, by oneself alone. It has to be done. Bhava bandha vimuktaye, for freedom from bondage. Or bhava bandha, for samsara. This samsara, this bondage expresses in the form of sorrow, anxiety, insecurity, fear, anger, depression, all those negative emotions. Don't imagine this bondage is a physical shackle. We are only talking about emotional problems, intellectual problems. Intellectual problem is the basic question like, why am I born? Why should God create this universe? The Lord is omniscient and omnipotent. Why can't he create a wonderful universe? Without earthquakes, at least without mosquito, without diseases, without criminals. Why can't he do that? Bhagwan is omniscient. Why did he create this world with all these problems? He should know better. Thus, we have all these basic questions. They affect us. This is the intellectual bondage. Many people who have emotional bondage. Others are emotionally sound. There are many people who do not have any of these questions. Why should we think of Bhagwan? Not bothered about why creation, etc. Their problems are family problems. That and at the emotional level plus intellectual level and physical level, all of them are bondage. All put together is called Bhava Bandha. And Vimuktihi means removal of that. So for this removal of this Bhava Bandha, you should put forth effort. You must try. Prayatna should be there. And Shankaracharya gives an example. Rogadav iva. As in the case of diseases. If you want to cure a disease, if you're sick and you want to get healthy, It requires a lot of effort. Aushadam, medicine. You should take the medication. Patyam, dietary restrictions usually go with that. Mm. And even after curing the disease, there is a recovery period. There is a convalescence period. During that time, I should be very careful. It's a long drawn process. This Bhava Roga also is a disease only. And the process is also long drawn. Just as in the case of physical diseases, even the dearest and nearest one cannot take the medicine. The sick person alone must take the medicine to get well. Take the medicine, then you will get well. In the same way, Guru, Shastram, and even Bhagavan cannot do it for you. You got to do it yourself. They can help. They can help. They can support you. The Guru gives the teaching, and the teaching he gives comes from the Shastra only. But you have to listen, you have to reflect, you have to meditate. All that you have to do. It's like anything else. Running a race. The soccer mom can take the kid to the field. She can take the drink, snacks for the children. But the actual game, the child has to play and win. The mom can cheer the kids on the sidelines. All that she can do. The parents can do all that. But the child has to play. Similarly, the Guru can teach the Shastra and say, you will get moksha in this Janma itself. This is what you should be doing. Guru can give all kinds of encouragement. Shastra, Bhagavan can also help. Bhagavan's grace and blessings will be there. But the main job, that has to be done by the seeker, by the Shishya. And Shishya alone. So Bhashyakara has given another example before. We've seen this. The removal of hunger. If you are hungry, you have to eat. Your mom can prepare the food. Your spouse can cook. All that is fine. But to remove your hunger, you have to eat the food that was prepared. Somebody else cannot eat and satiate your hunger. Okay. Understood. Understood. I am ready. I will put forth effort, the necessary effort. But when are you going to start the teaching? Oh, Shankaracharya ji, you've been talking about this. I've asked the question, when are you going to teach? Yes, yes. All in time. So now the Guru again praises the student for having asked a wonderful set of questions. Verse 67. यस्वयाद्यकृतः प्रश्नः यस्वयाद्यकृतः प्रश्नः वरीयाञ्शास्त्रविन्मतः वरीयाञ्शास्त्रविन्मतः सूत्रप्रयो निगूढार्थः सूत्रप्रायो निगूढार्थः ज्ञातव्यश्च मुमुक्षुभिः ज्ञातव्यश्च मुमुक्षुभिः यस्वयाद्यकृतः प्रश्नः वरीयान् शास्त्रविन्मतः सूत्रप्रायो निगूढार्थः ज्ञातव्यश्च मुमुक्षुभिः. In this verse, the Guru glorifies the student again. Shankaracharya praises the student who has come to him and asked all these wonderful questions. So until now, the teaching was glorified. Now, once again, he praises the student. He had done it before. The student really deserves the praise. Because he has found out that moksha is the primary goal of life. Like what we talked about in the Chaturvida Purushartha. 4 goals of life. The highest is moksha, that this student has recognized. So the student has to be congratulated, and he does that. The teacher does that. He says, Yah prashnah, the question which tvaya kritah, you have raised. The question you've asked adya, today. The question you have posed today, variyan, great. What you have asked me today, very good question. Remember what the question was? Set of questions, 49th verse. Ko nama bandha katamesha agatah katam pratisthasya katam vimokshah ko savanatma paramah katma tayor vivekah katametat uchyatam. 7 questions. What is bondage? How does it come about? How does it continue? How can I get liberated from that? What is the not self? What is Paramatma? And how to discriminate between them and understand their nature? So this set of questions is referred to as prashna. This question, he says, is variyan. Indeed, great. Wonderful question. Not only it is great, Shastravit Matah, endorsed by all great acharyas. All the traditional teachers appreciate these types of questions. You may recall from the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Tadvidhi pratipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. He says, he just does not say prashna, but uses the word pariprashna. Mature student is one who knows what to ask, how to ask, how much to ask, when to ask, where to ask, and ultimately whom to ask. He knows all that, and he has approached the Guru. And after serving him, when the Guru is ready, and he asks the appropriate question. All these things are important. Therefore, there is this adjective pariprashna, a proper question. That is appreciated by all acharyas. A teacher, when he hears the right question from the student, will appreciate that student. So he says, good question. Shastravit matah, approved by Shastra. And of course, I also approve it. So your question is Sutra Prayah, very brief, to the point. Often we find the student starts to ask a question, goes on and on and on. By the time the question ends, it is a mini lecture. So many things are mentioned. The question is hidden somewhere there. The poor teacher has to dig and find out what is she asking? No, your question should be point blank. Brevity, precision, all that is important. That's what the student has done here. Sutra prayah. Short and to the point. That means the student's thinking. Very clear, sharp intellect. Your question is like that. Then nigudhartah. It has a deeply hidden implication. The implications are very subtle. That is why each question requires long answers. The question is brief, but the answer is going to be long. Question you have raised in one verse, the answer will be given the next verse to the end of the text. More than 400 verses. So they are pregnant questions, significant questions. Pithy question, but that requires elaborate answer. Not only that, jnatavyah cha mumukshubhihi. The answers must be known by all seekers of liberation. One who is interested in liberation must know these answers. They're not personal questions. That can be addressed in a private setting with the teacher. Your questions, what you've asked, is relevant to all people. So that's why Bhagwan Bhashyakara has dealt with these 7 questions in Vivekacu in such great detail. That is why this text is studied even today by people, generation after generation. Wonderful text. That's why we have taken this text up for study. Continuing, verse 68. Shunashvavahito vidvan, Shunashvavahito vidvan, Yenmaya samudiryate, Yenmaya samudiryate, Tadetashravanat sadyah, Tadetashravanat sadyah, Bhavabandhat vimokshaye, Bhavabandhat vimokshaye, Shrunushvavahito vidvan, Yenmaya samudiryate, Tadetashravanat sadyah, Bhavabandhat vimokshase. So here he says, I am going to give the answers. I will answer all your questions. Shrunushva avahitah. Listen to my answers carefully, attentively, and with all alertness. And the teacher addresses the student again, Vidvan. He called him a Vidvan even before. Oh, intelligent disciple. The student seems to know a lot of things already. He seems to have thought a lot. He has examined his life. Based on his life experiences, he has asked these questions. Questions are so very precise. Therefore, he says, O learned, informed student, with one, listen very carefully. To what? Yenmaya samudiryate. Listen to what I have to tell you. What I'm going to teach you, you listen to it. Listen carefully. Because tadetat shravanat sadyah bhavabandhat vimokshase. By listening, to that, you will be freed. You will be liberated immediately. The answers you asked very good questions, and my answers to that will liberate you. So you please listen to it very carefully. So tadetat shravana, by listening to that, listening to my teaching, you will be free. You will be free from bhava bandhat. By this bondage of samsara, vimokshase. You will be freed from the bondage or shackles of samsara. Sadyah, immediately. Once you get this knowledge, but in this knowledge, you are liberated immediately. So here the teacher makes a point. If you are very alert, if you are well prepared, qualified student, even at the end of teaching itself, you can discover your freedom. Shravanat eva kaivalyam. You don't require any further effort. You have this sadhana chatushtaya's sampatti in full measure. And you are alert, listening. Then at the end of that Shravanam itself, and you do it consistently, systematically, for a length of time, that Shravanam itself will give you liberation. The teacher tells you Tattvamasi, and immediately the student gets Aham Brahmasmi. It's possible. Your preparation should be paka. That is where the problem is. Sadhyah, immediately you will get it. You will. Shravana itself without requiring manana and nididhyasana. Possible. We don't say mananam and nididhyasanam are mandatory, compulsory. No. If the person is very clear about, he has a sharp intellect, he's qualified himself with all viveka, vairagya, samadhi, shakti, sampatti, the intensity for liberation is there. If all that is there, he can get it. If you have doubts, then you have to do manana. If emotional problems are there, Janma Janmandra vasanas are there, still they are bothering you, then nididhyasanam is required. If you are lucky enough, without any of those problems, no doubts, no habitual notions, erroneous notions, mananam is not needed, nididhyasanam is not needed. But unfortunately, most of us are where we are. We don't have that level of that intensity, that clarity we don't have. So we have to go through all the three processes. Shravanat vimokshase. That rare student will be liberated by Shravanam itself. And such cases are very rare. Then he says, Mokshasya heto pratamo nigadyate. Mokshasya heto pratamo nigadyate. Vairagyamatyantamanetya vastushu. Vairagyamatyantamanetya vastushu. Tatassamaschapidamasthitiksha. Tatassamaschapidamasthitiksha. Nyasa prayas prasakta kila karmanam bhrusham. Nyasa prasakta kila karmanam bhrusham. Mokshasya hetu pratamo nigadyate. वैराग्यमत्यन्तमनेत्य वस्तुषु ततः समश्चापि दमस्ति तिक्षा न्यास प्रसक्ता किल कर्मणां भृशम्. So in these two verses, 69, this verse and the next verse, the teacher will give the procedure, what the seeker has to follow to gain moksha. The entire set of steps given in a nutshell. It's like a roadmap. Everyone has to travel through this road, the Vedic life, a life designed by the Vedas. Of course, Shankaracharya emphasizes the acquisition of these fourfold qualifications. This we have seen before. He's again repeating, emphasizing this. To pursue moksha, one should have a value for moksha. And appreciate that this is the Parama Purushartha. You should know the importance of moksha. This is the first goal, primary goal. Then the pursuit is the next goal. Initially, it seems that there are four goals. Dharma, Artha, Kama. They are only seeming goals, not the real goals of life. Yesterday, somebody asked the question, how do I balance all the four? There's no question of balance. Moksha is the primary goal, the only goal, really speaking. The others are there in ignorance. So you have to get over that. You, in ignorance, you are pursuing all those goals. So you wise up. See how that is not going to give you permanent joy, permanent happiness. Once you grow out of those, then wholeheartedly he will pursue the Parama Purushartha. To understand that itself takes many years. Sometimes it takes many births. So first we have to talk about the four goals, and in that we will tell that Artha is the only goal, and that person will go after money. And then Kama fulfillment will be there, and he goes after that. Then Punya fulfillment, Dharma, through Dharma, he'll pursue that. After doing all that, see the futility of all of them, then the real goal will come into play. And one other thing, often when we talk about sadhana chatushtaya, we start with viveka, discrimination, said to be the first qualification of a seeker. But here Shankaracharya says, mokshasya hetuhu pratamaha nigadyate. The first means for moksha is vairagyam, dispassion. A little bit different. Some of you may remember when we were studying aparoksha anubhuti. There also Shankaracharya puts vairagyam, dispassion, detachment to be the first. This is generally what we find, lack of vairagyam. That is a problem. We are attached to so many things. This artha, kama, dharma is all because of attachment. People say, I know this is not good for me. I know I shouldn't be doing that. But what to do? I can't give it up. So Viveka is there, but Vairagyam is lacking. Simple example, so many times we have given smoking. Everybody knows smoking is injurious to your health, but still the smokers can give it up, attached to it. Therefore, that Vairagyam should be Atyantam. should be extreme, should be intense. Should not be any vagueness in it. It is called Tivra Vairagya, not hatred. Not hatred. Now be careful, hatred is as bad as attachment. When we say hatred, that is just a negative attachment. So hatred is no different from attachment. So vairagyam is the absence of both attachment and hatred. Raga, dvesha, both of them should not be there. So transcending, going beyond both. Raga, dvesha, atitatvam. It is vairagyam. That vairagyam should be for anitya vastu. Everything ephemeral, everything that is unpredictable, everything that is undependable, I should not have any attachment. If I hold on to unpredictable things, my life itself will become unpredictable. Holding on to insecure things, how can I find security? That's the surest way to be in samsara. Therefore, a seeker must have anitya vastushu vairagyam, dispassion to impermanent things. Nobody exemplifies this vairagyam like our Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. Those of you who know his life history, when he went to Tiruvannamalai, he mortgaged his ear studs because he didn't have enough money to take the bus in the last leg of travel. Mortgage that. That Brahmin lady, she gave him something, whatever, 3 rupees, let us say. So he bought the bus ticket and was on his way. And he had a little change. Few annas left. I don't know whether you all remember this money. Few paisa. When he went there, he threw that in that pond. He didn't say, I have 4 annas, I can get a cup of coffee or tea. No. He said, I've reached you, O Lord. Oh, Bhagwan, I wanted to be here. I'm here. I don't need anything else. What a vairagyam. If we have that kind of vairagyam, that is liberation right there. That's what he is emphasizing here. That vairagyam we don't have. We know, but we can't give things up. What can I say? Next, tataha, thereafter, then, samascha api damastitiksha. Earlier it was said as Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, same thing. 6-fold qualification. Shama, Dama, Titiksha. And the rest should be understood. He's just reminding us again. The first of the 6 is Shama, thought discipline, control of mind. Life is a series of actions and results. Actions are first born at the thought level. Therefore, our life is built on the brick of thoughts. The entire human life is made up of building blocks of thoughts alone. So be aware of your thoughts and learn to regulate, modify, refine, improve your thought life. This is called Shamaha. Then Damaha, regulation of the sense organs, followed by Titiksha, forbearance, endurance. Able to accept the various opposite experiences in life. And of course, the others are Uparati. Shankaracharya defines Uparati as Nyasaha. Nyasaha or Sanyasaha. Prasakta Akila Karmanam Brisham. Totally renouncing all activities, all actions. Total renunciation of all relevant activities, depending upon your ashrama. The word Uparati has 2 meanings. One meaning given here in Vivekacu is sannyasa. It's a proper meaning also. Second meaning is given in Tattva Bodha. Some of you might remember. It doesn't say sannyasa there. Hmm. Suppose a person is in Grahastha he is a householder. Hmm. He's not able to take sannyasa. Then Uparati is defined as avoiding all unnecessary activities. Hmm. Whatever you need to do, you do. Swakarma Anushtana. Reducing kamya karma by reducing prayasita karma, by avoiding nishita karma, what are your bounden duties, you do, that's all. You reduce desire prompted actions instead of working for materialistic goals, 18 hours a day, reduce it to 16 hours. And the 2 hours you save, you use it for studying Vedanta. We don't say you should not pursue entertainment, pleasures, comforts. Just don't do that alone. Devote your time for the other things. And eschew all nishiddha karmas. Whatever is forbidden, prohibited, don't do it. If you lead your life this way, even though you are a grahastha, householder, you are as good as a sannyasi. So as I said, Tattva Bodha defines it as swadharma anushtanameva uparati. Performance of one's duties. That is uparati. Gita also Bhagavan says, anashrita karma palam karyam karma karoti yah sasanyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyah. So grahastha who is a karma yogi is also a sannyasi only. Such a sannyasa is called uparati. So Shankaracharya has talked about some more qualifications before. Shraddha, Samadhanam, later Mumukshutvam. All of them we have to remember in this context. All the six. In short, sadhana chatushtayam acquisition is what we are talking about. Religious life is for sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Therefore, religion is important for acquiring this qualification. Mere philosophy will be a dry philosophy. That is why in our tradition, our philosophers were also religious people. So a Vedic life is important. That is how everything fits. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.